This is Unit 1, Portfolio Construction, and the topic is Markowitz model. Approaches in portfolio construction. There are two approaches, traditional approach and modern approach. So under a traditional approach, investors are mostly concerned about the income and capital appreciation. So based on this, appropriate securities will be selected to meet the needs of the investors. So what amount they are going to generate in the future. That means whatever shares they have purchased, on that how much dividend, how much increase they are going to get in the future, and how those shares in the future, how the price is going to change. So price change is nothing but here capital appreciation, how much amount they are going to get in excess. So the investor is concerned about these two things. One is income and another one is capital appreciation. Next, coming to the modern approach. Here it is also known as Markowitz model, wherein Markowitz gave more attention for the process of selecting the portfolio. So according to him, stocks are not selected on the basis of need for income, but here the selection of stock is based on risk and return analysis. That is, the modern portfolio is constructed to maximize the expected return for a given level of risk. So even the risk is zero, the return will be minimum. That means based on the given level of risk, the expected return can be maximized. So this is about modern approach. Markowitz model. This model was developed by Harry Markowitz in the year 1952. This model is also known as modern portfolio theory, where it suggests how to get an efficient portfolio. That is, it provides a logical as well as mathematical approach to get an efficient portfolio. Coming to the question, what is an efficient portfolio? So it's a portfolio wherein an investor looks for optimum risk and optimum returns. Any investor, he wants minimum risk with maximum returns. But here, Markowitz model says or demonstrates that risk and return. So based on the risk, based on the percentage of risk, the investor is going to get the return. So usually the risk and return analysis, it's the relationship between risk and return is positive. So there is a positive correlation between risk and return. So here, if the risk is more, then returns will also be more. But a rational investor wants to minimize his risk and maximize the returns. His model demonstrated that to a given level of risk or lowest risk, so what he is going to yield the highest return based on the given level of risk, he is going to get the return, or lowest risk for a given level of return. So here, based on the percentage of risk the investor is taking, he is going to get that much of return. So if it's lowest to lower, then it is the minimum return he is going to get. So if he is able to take highest risk, then he is going to get the highest returns. So to a given level of risk, the expectation of yield or the highest return can be obtained. That is, it all depends upon individual risk and return. So how much the individual is going to risk, based on that level, he can expect the returns. So this is the first point about Markowitz model, that is individual risk and return. Then second one is diversify to reduce the overall risk. So the diversification of funds at the different places should be done to reduce the overall risk. Say for example, a portfolio with various levels of various ways of diversifying. That is a person, a investor who is investing in Infosys and some shares in IOC and BPCL. So he has this at the different places. Here what happens means, even if the IT industry, the rates fall also, then he is going to compensate that risk in IOC and BPCL. So here the risk can be compensated, the overall risk can be reduced when there is diversification of funds. Next, last one, that is negative correlation. The correlation between the risk and return is usually positive, but if it is negative, then that will give rise to an efficient portfolio. So this emphasizes that risk cannot be avoided, but it can be compensated with other ways of with the right way of selecting the portfolio. So here, suppose, say the risk is compensated by whenever there is a negative correlation between the risk and return. That means the risk at one place will be compensated from the return at another place. Say suppose Infosys shares have risen, the value of the shares has risen. Then whenever there is a decrease in IOC or BPCL shares, then it is nothing but it is a negative correlation, wherein the risk there in Infosys or that means the IOC and BPCL, say suppose they have the shares of these companies have reduced, then that particular risk can be compensated with the increase in the share value of Infosys. That means it becomes a negative correlation, wherein risk is compensated. Coming to the assumptions of Markowitz theory, the portfolio theory of Markowitz is based on the following assumptions. First one, investors are rational and behave in a manner as to maximize their utility with a given level of income or money. Here, the assumption is that under this theory is investors are rational. That means they are, that means he is able to make decisions. That is, he is an intelligent person. Investor is a person, intelligent person who can take his decisions intellectually. Here, he behave in a manner as to maximize their utility with a given level of income. So he wants to maximize the returns. to a given level of income. Whatever income he has, with that he want to increase that funds. He want more returns. Next, investors have free access to fair and correct information on the returns and risk. So here he has to get the correct information, and based on the information of returns, risk and returns, he is going to take the decisions. That means he has to be given the funds which has where the diversification has to be done, where the risk he has to bear, like how much risk he has to and how much he is going to get in return. So all these information should be given by the companies to choose the different ways of diversifying the funds. The markets are efficient and absorb the information quickly and perfectly. So here one more assumption is that markets are efficient and they take the information quickly and perfectly. So whatever information is there, that will be taken in a more efficient way based on the markets. Then investors are risk averse and try to minimize the risk and maximize return. So here the meaning of risk averse is nothing but the investor does not want to take any risk, even if he is not going to get maximum returns to the lowest level or to the 0%. If the risk is also, he is able to retain his money. So he is satisfied with that money only and don't want to take any level of risk. So that is a risk averse and try to minimize the risk and maximize the return. So based on the proportion, the return he will be going to maximize. Next, investors base decisions on expected returns and variance or standard deviation of these returns from the mean. So investors will take the decisions based on the expected returns and what is the difference of these returns from the actual ones. So based on this, he is going to make the decision whether to invest in those projects or not, whether to invest in those shares or not, or in that particular portfolio or not. Next, investors choose higher returns to lower returns for a given level of risk. So this is very important here. He wants to choose higher returns instead of taking lower returns. For any given level of risk, he wants to take to the maximum. Even if it is 0%, he'll be thinking about the maximum returns itself. So whatever amount he has, he will get. So beyond that, to the maximum extent, what he is going to get, that much returns he is going to expect to a minimum level of risk or to the lowest level of risk. So these are the assumptions of Markowitz theory.